Welcome back to the end game, y'all. Welcome back to the end game. So what has my coach and their pastor for life? What has their pastor for life been up to? Is that right? Is he still exaggerating that 4-acre parcel out there at the supposed IAG Farms? Is he still exaggerating that and claiming that it's actually 5 acres, even though it's on record with the county as being 4 acres, 4.08 acres to be exact? So you can't round that up. 4.08 acres does not round up to 5 acres, coach. We do know that you have some disabilities, you have deficiencies when it comes to the mathematics, but we also know that you like to exaggerate when it benefits you, yes? And now I do understand that not only were you exaggerating the 4 acres to be 5, you're rounding up to be 5, but you're saying because there's some hills and some valleys, it feels like 7 acres. 4 acres feels like 7 acres. Because it has some dips, some humps, yes? Okay, because it has a big old hump where the chicken coop used to be behind the pond area there, just because there's a hump there, and just because it slopes downhill toward the mini barn area, what used to be the pig pen area, just because it slopes downhill over there. You're talking about the hills and the valleys, just because it has some hills and some valleys. Just because it has some declines. Just because your property starts out high at the road, it dips down in the middle, and then it rises again up near where you actually have a HEMA, your trailer / mobile home parked. Yes, just because it has some dips, you're saying that this 4 acres feels like 7. It feels like 7 acres. And of course, we know for you, it just sounds better. We know it's not even a feel. It's not a feeling, yes? Okay, so we know it doesn't even feel, it definitely doesn't feel like 7 acres. We know it's you, it just, you know, it sounds better to say we have 7 acres. We've acquired 7 acres. Is that right? And now I do understand that you even exaggerate. So no, if you say no, it doesn't just feel like 7, it feels like 7 to 10 acres. Okay, all right, coach. For a person that was supposedly a homesteader, for a person that was supposedly a farmer, a person that was supposedly a real estate investor, okay, a savvy real estate investor, supposedly, that has accumulated some type of portfolio, yes? A portfolio that you claim, a portfolio of properties, and then this one in particular that you claim is worth about $200,000, even though your neighbors to the left and the right of you have more acreage, and they have stick-built houses on their property, and their property is somewhere in the $100,000, maybe $150,000 range. But somehow you on your paltry 4 acres with a trailer, yes, with a mobile home parked, a shed-looking mobile home park, somehow that value of your property, okay, with its oblong shape, which means that its usefulness is limited, yes, somehow your property is worth more than theirs when they have stick-built properties and 2 to 3 times the acreage. Is that right? Or more, even more acreage to the left and to the right of you, coach. But good gracious, what else has he been up to? Let's see what else we've been up to. Oh, okay, so I do understand that he said that the LP siding is done. Okay, now done. We know that done must be in the heavy quotes. Heavy quotes. What does done mean? Does that mean that he finally put up the last piece of that siding? Does it mean that he caulked in the hundreds of nail holes? Does it mean that he caulked in the 30 or 40 seams? Okay, is that what he means by it being done? Did he apply the paint to it yet? Has he painted it yet? No, that's not what he means by it being done. So it's not really done. But the siding is finally up. After 3 to 4 months, the siding is finally up. Is that right? Good gracious. Well, today, like I said, welcome back to the end game, where today I'm going to give my reaction to the most recent video where he talks about, what is he talking about? They completely transformed their mobile home in 90 days. Okay, and now, transform for the better or for the worse? Or is there no real transformation at all? Yes. Some people would claim that the house or the mobile home looked more complete when it had that raggedy old tin siding up on it. Yes. Now that it has discolored LP siding, considering the fact that you painted some of the edges and you painted the your cuts. Anytime you had a cut edge, you painted it. You put some primer or what have you on it. Consider the fact that you got hundreds of nail holes, nail heads being caulked over. The caulk is being smeared by their less than professional owner, less than professional carpenter. Yes. Some people would argue that it looks worse. Yes. Considering that you remove the skirting and there's no telling when you actually replace that skirt. There's no telling. Okay. I'm thinking next spring, maybe, I don't know. Okay. And so there's some people that would argue that it actually looks worse. And so that some people would say that the transformation of that house is actually worse. The transformation of that mobile home, that mobile trailer is worse. It looks worse now. Okay. But you want people to somehow be amazed and say, okay, it's been transformed. And we, of course, know when you say 90 days, certainly we're talking about a good 120 days. 90 days to tear off some siding, some tin siding. 90 days to put up some shed siding on your mobile home. Yes. 90 days to put in, I don't know, maybe a dozen windows. We'll say a dozen windows. I'll round up. I'll do one of my coach's numbers. I'll round up. Let's say a dozen windows. 90 days to put in a dozen windows and a door. 90 days to attach a roof to the top. Yes. To fix an aluminum roof. Oh, he had the pros come in for that. Oh yeah, that's right. He even had the pros come in for that. Yes. So that doesn't even really count in the 90 days, but 90 days to mess around, to fool around, to play around with that siding. Is that something to be proud about? Is that something to boast about? I would beg to differ. Yes. And so now he's talking about you ain't seen nothing yet. And here we go. Here we go with a grain of truth. Here we go with a nugget of truth. Every now and then, my coach is good for a nugget of truth. Yes. And he hit the nail on the head. We truly have not seen anything. We haven't seen anything yet, coach. 90 days. More accurately, 120 days. 120 days of you not fooling around, commencing with the nonsense, shenanigans, exaggerations, breaks upon breaks, distractions upon distractions. Yes. 90 days. We truly have not seen anything yet, but you trying to imply that there's more exciting things to come. And I'm like, okay. Most people understand that when things drag on, we claim that it's like watching paint dry. Yes. Oftentimes if we're forced to observe something that's a little bit drawn out, a little bit boring. Yes. We say, oh, it was like watching paint dry. We do understand that your next task around that mobile home, okay, unless you veer off and look at the driveway, unless you veer off and do the skirting, unless you veer off and start working on that barn or that tool shed or what have you, unless you veer off and start working on or focusing on that wood chip business, your next task will be to paint. It would be to paint the mobile home, paint that shed siding so that it can mimic your other shed, Ernest. Yes. And so what do you mean? So you say we haven't seen it, as if something more exciting is coming up? Watching you paint. Now, the question is, how long will it take for you to paint that shed? Yes. And we really should take bets. Yes. We really should take bets. Projections, predictions. Get up in the comments. Yes, get up in the comments. And even you heaviest of 10 followers, you guys get up in the comments. Yes. And tell me how quickly your pastor is going to paint that mobile home. Yes. Now he'll always claim, oh, it's just me. It's only one person working on it. Yes. He'll always say, well, the reason why it's taking such a long amount of time, extended period of time, lengthy period of time, is because it's just me. It's just me. And sometimes I have superhuman ability. Yes. Okay. And so question is, how long will it take him? And I'm thinking it's going to take a solid month. I'm thinking a solid month A month for him to paint that, yes? A month. Okay? And so hopefully him watching the reaction channels or him watching this particular reaction, hopefully that will spur him on to complete it in less time, yes? In more of a short order, yes? But I'm thinking about a month. You guys get up in the comments, let me know how long you think it's going to take for him to paint that. Now, bear in mind, with Tim's recent admissions, as far as his content, as far as his taping being driven by the videos, as far as his activities, as far as his projects being driven by YouTube, his projects being driven by content creation, being driven by how many videos he can generate, okay, which equates to money, how much money, how many views he can collect from a particular project. Bear in mind him painting that, okay, so I say a month, and that's with him moving at his typical snail's pace. But he may run the numbers, right? You know, he doesn't have a problem running the numbers. They may be wrong. They may be exaggerated. But he doesn't have a problem running the numbers. And so he may run the numbers and say, yes, it would be more advantageous for us to take a month to paint a 1,200 square foot mobile home. But good gracious. But anyway, I'm going to provide my reaction to that most recent video. I'm going to provide my reaction here. All right, so early in the video, Tim takes you guys back down memory lane. I guess he goes back to March of 2023. And he just reminds us that those boys have been characters. Yes, they've been actors in this IAG Farm content company for years, maybe since birth. Yes, maybe since birth, if you go back to the video footage. Yes. But he has the boys out there, you know, he's got them out in the sunglasses and they're dressed up. And obviously this is, this is created. Yes. Obviously it's forced. Yes. Okay. The boys barely know the lyrics to the hook, and they're as simple as big, long Emma, big, long Emma. It's as simple as that. And the boys are tripping over it. Yes. And even little Noah. Yes. Even little Noah. Now, if my coach was more focused on the development of his boys, in particular the development of little Noah, he would have noticed that Noah had certain deficiencies. Okay, he had certain needs back then. Yes, he had certain apparent disabilities, certain shortcomings. He could have addressed them 2 years ago. Yes, okay, even before that. But if he had paid attention to it, instead of glossing over Noah, anytime Noah gets ready to speak, he glosses over, he giggles and says, hey, yeah, that's right. And then he moves the camera over to the next kid. Okay, whenever Noah stumbles, it's just, hey, that's right. And then he'll switch it over to another kid. Yes. Okay, and so if he had paid the kids some responsible attention, yes, years ago, but we see Noah, he's struggling on Emma. He can't even pronounce Emma. Yes, he's forgotten the words to the hook. There's only 3 words, right? Big, long Emma. Big, long Emma. And you know they rehearsed it. So even though they rehearsed it time and time again, yes, he's still struggling. Good gracious, Tim. How far back does the neglect of your boy's development, the neglect of your boy's literacy, the neglect of your boy's education, how far back does it go? Goes back to birth. Even when they were in the womb, yes? We do know some parents actually read to their kids while they're in the womb in order to promote their development. Yes, in order to jumpstart their development. But so you're saying his neglect may have started when they're in the, oh, good gracious. Show us more, coach. Show us more.
Mobile home. And if y'all have been around, y'all remember the Emma rap. Boys, y'all ready for this name reveal?
Yeah.
Here we go. Her name is Big Long Emma, the mobile home. She may not be a double Y, but she sure is long. She came to our farm to set us debt free so we can live life in the country more abundantly. Her name is Big Long Emma.
Big Long Emma.
Her name is Big Long Emma.
Big Long Emma.
Her name is Big Long Emma.
Big Long Emma.
She's Big Long Emma, the mobile home.
Tim says that they were trying to think of a name for their home. All right, viewers, I need you guys to raise your hands. Yes. And get up in the comments. How many of you guys actually have a name affixed to your home? Yes. Would that extend to apartments? Do people give their apartments names? Yes, I mean, we're accustomed to Tim having affixed names to his equipment. We're accustomed to that, yes? Okay, trying to give them some type of personalities, trying to attach human qualities to his equipment, yes? We do know that he named his shed. We do know that he named his poultry pen. But how many of you guys actually feel a need or felt the need to name your house other than calling it home? But some goofy person in their household decided they needed a name for their house. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Is the house yet another piece of equipment? And he says, well, the Lord. So that means that they must have prayed on it. Yes? Did they pray on it? Lord, please give us a name for this house. Please give us a name. Let us focus on affixing a name to this house. Let us focus on ideology. Let us focus on idols. Let's focus on idolizing our house. We need a name for our house, Lord. Please give us a name. Please give us a name, Lord. And the Lord said, name it, establishing more and more abundantly. Are we joking? Are we serious? Are the viewers really supposed to buy that? Okay, is God into the acronyms now? Is God into the acronyms? Okay, and so God told you to name it. So now, if this was a true story, and if God did give you a name, wouldn't it be a simple name like Ernest? Okay, a simple name like honesty, a simple name like integrity, truth. Yes. Wouldn't it be a simple name like that? But you're claiming that God told you to name your mobile home, establishing more and more abundantly. Which just happens to have an acronym of Emma. Come on, Tim. Good gracious. I mean, even the readiest of Tim writers. Come on now. You can't be that steady of a Tim supporter to fall for this, yes? How heavy of a Tim follower can you be to believe that they prayed to God and God gave them the name Emma? Good gracious. But tell us more, Tim. Tell us more.
But we were trying to figure out a name for our home, and the Lord told us to name it establishing more and more abundantly. And that's not only the name for our home, but that's also the name for this season of our life.
I set out on a road. All right, Tim shows some footage of him applying caulk around the trim, around the windows, etc., applying the caulk and smearing it with his finger, yes? Okay, and we already saw the previous footage of him putting his caulk on, smearing it with the finger, going in and further smudging it with a rag, eventually getting the rag to where it's saturated in caulk. And so when he rubs garbage in, garbage out, coach. So when he goes to rub subsequent caulking locations, he's just smearing additional caulk all over the place. It's a hot mess. It's a hot mess. Good gracious. Okay. But Tim knows he's just going to paint over it. Yes. And of course, he won't do any close-ups. Going forward, there'll be no more close-ups. And so you guys won't be privy to any of the defects that result as a result of him being haphazard, him being derelict in applying this caulk. Yes. Irresponsible in applying the caulk. Yes. And so he says, if there's one thing that we taught you on this channel, it's that you can. Okay. And now I proclaimed that months ago, he taught you guys about the DDIY. Yes. As in, Tim, please don't do it yourself. Please, Tim, don't. Please. Okay. But for the sake of the content, he has to do it himself. Now, bear in mind, he doesn't have any shame with videotaping contractors and using their hard labor for his content, for his personal gain. Yes. He doesn't have a problem with that. Yes. Okay. But generally speaking, for his content, for the sake of his content, he has to do it himself. That's what the channel is all about. But he claims we've taught you guys that you too can. And I'm like, can what? Can make a mess? You too can make a mess. Okay. You too can be irresponsible, can neglect things. You too can perform shoddy workmanship. What is that? Is that really a lesson that the viewers need to get? They already knew that they could do shoddy work. Yes. If they don't have any experience, they already knew that they could experiment. They already knew they could experiment. Yes. And so what do you mean you taught them that you can? You can do what? You can give it a shot? Okay. I'm not sure what you taught them. And he said, well, no, this is not Some of you guys may think that I've been doing this for years. And I'm like, who are the ones? It's got to be the newest of viewers. It's got to be the newest of viewers, the newest of subscribers that think that you've been doing any of this stuff for years. Yes. Although some of the new subscribers, may not realize that on previous videos, you admitted that based upon your skill level, you could actually go out to some of their properties. You offered it. It's in the video footage. Yes, it's in the irrefutable archives, the IAG archives, where you said you were at a skill level, you could actually go out to other people's property and actually perform work on their property. You could take the IAG mobile, yes, and work on projects here and there on other people's property. Okay, but then when the reaction channels rose up on your commentary, on your proclamation, yes, when we rose up on your offerings, you kind of backed up a little. You backed off a little bit. You're like, oh, well, no. I'm not an expert. I don't have experience. I'm just trying it out. I'm learning as I go. Now you're learning as you go. Okay, before you were highly skilled. You were like a lower level expert. You said you could get paid good money to do this type of work around other people's houses. You claimed it, Tim. Don't make us pull up the videos, yes? They're in the archives. But he said some people think he's highly skilled and he's been doing it for years. And I'm like, who are those? Who are those people? Yes. All they need to do is watch just a few minutes of your work around that farm. Okay. They watch a few minutes of it thinking that they can learn something. And I'm sure their reaction, their response is going to be, I can't take anymore. Yes. And that's similar to my response. I can't take anymore.
And we have taught you with this project that you can. We might not be a how-to channel, but we teach you that you can do it, because you may see me do these type of things and you may think that I'm skilled. You may think that I've been doing this type of stuff my whole life. I haven't. Like, y'all are seeing me like in the moment learning. And so if I can do it, so can you.
I can't take no more. That's it. That's it for my reaction to that most recent IAG Farms video, where Tim talks about transforming their home in 90 to 120 days. And he said, you haven't seen anything yet. And you're right, Tim. We haven't seen anything. But you making a mess. You dragging content. You diluting your content. Yeah, stretching the content. And then laughing in the viewers' faces. Yes. But that's it. Please like and subscribe. Chop it up in the comments. I want to shoot out some love to my current subscribers. Thank you for showing me that love. For any viewers that have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing so that we can continue to shine that light. Until next time.